All right, looks like we are live on YouTube. We are getting the stream up and running here. We are live on YouTube, viewers and listeners. Follow our YouTube channel, like and share the show, subscribe to our YouTube channel, the I Love CVille Network. We want to make a push for 500,000 views by the end of the year, 500,000 views by the end of the year on the I Love CVille Network YouTube page. Hammer that like button for us. The show airs across all social platforms. We are live on YouTube, J-Dubs. I will confirm some of the other social channels. The Halloween edition of the I Love CVille show. If you missed Real Talk this morning, you missed Batman, you missed the Dark Knight, Batman, the Boy Wonder, Robin, a very muscular-looking Captain America, a very impactful Dark Jedi, and Alfred flawless with his wardrobe and attire. We're going to have a conversation today with you, the viewer and listener, about topics and storylines that are near and dear to Charlottesville, Albemarle County, Central Virginia, and beyond. J-Dubs live on my Facebook page, live on the I Love CVille Facebook page. I will confirm LinkedIn in a matter of moments, J-Dub. Live on YouTube, J-Dubs. I'm going to ask you which headline is most intriguing to you and why. Judah.
How's
We are
LinkedIn looking?
not live on LinkedIn.
Okay, I'm going to restart.
Not live on LinkedIn. I will confirm LinkedIn when I see it. I do not see us live on LinkedIn, J-Dubs. And I want to get up on LinkedIn because you know how many LinkedIn followers we have on our platform, J-Dubs?
I do not.
What's your guess? Almost 7,300 LinkedIn connections. I would put the 7,300 LinkedIn connections for our firm up against any firm in Charlottesville, Albemarle, and Central Virginia except for the University of Virginia. And that's just factual commentary right there. How about the Virginia Film Festival attracting more than 23,000 attendees? I mean, what a success story for Jody Kilbasa and the Virginia Film Festival. They work really hard on that. You got us up and running on LinkedIn, J-Dubs?
I'm working on it.
What's the ETA on that, do you think? Or is that going to be live during the show, do you think?
I think it will. Let's see if it goes up now.
All right, Judah Wickower is a gentleman, a scholar, a hard worker behind the scenes. Every team needs an Elmer's glue guy. And Judah Wickower is our Elmer's glue guy. We're going to talk about the Dick's House of Sports grand opening, experiential shopping at its finest, if you may. We're going to talk a vape shop coming to Fox's Cafe. Thank you, Conan Owen of Sir Speedy, for passing along that information to us. I'm going to ask you, the viewer and listener, this question. What is the bigger scourge? Scourge, Judah? Scourge?
It's a good word, I guess.
The bigger scourge on Charlottesville, Albemarle, and Central Virginia. The vape shop storefronts or payday loan storefronts? I think it's a clear-cut answer. I hope you and I are in a disagreement on this one so we can have some friendly banter. But for me, it's a clear-cut. Are we live on LinkedIn?
We should be now.
Okay, fantastic. Great work, Judah. You ready to rock and roll? You're doing a good job.
Ready.
You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
I know there's many facets to your job here. How would you characterize what you do here? I mean, every day is a different day, is it not?
No doubt.
All right,
Very different.
let's
Very
rock.
different. Every single day is a new trial.
You have a job. It's a job. It's not supposed to be fun. That's why it's called a job.
See
All
what
right.
I mean?
Today's payday, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll.
Quiet on the set.
Quiet on the sand. Rob Neal, hello. Lonnie Murray, hello. Kid Ashley, hello. Lloyd Snook, hello. Jeremy Hu, hello. Dr. John Shabe, hello. Georgia Gilmer, hello. Janice Boyce Trevelyan, Tom Powell, Michael Pruitt, hello. Brandon Harrop, hello. Jason Noble, hello. Jeff Gason, hello. Like and share the show, like and share the show, like and share the show. Scott Aaronworth, Colleen Tyler. Welcome to the I Love CVille show. My name is Jerry Miller. Thank you kindly for joining us. Good Friday afternoon to you, a Halloween extravaganza. This morning on Real Talk with Keith Smith, you saw The Dark Knight, Batman, The Boy Wonder, Robin, a muscular Captain America, a somber and poetic Dark Jedi. You saw Alfred behind the scenes. And I'll tell you what, Marvel or what's the other?
DC.
Marvel or DC, they had nothing on us. Is the Dark Jedi on either of those?
Maybe I could maybe argued. I think the Dark Jedi are now owned by Disney.
Oh, Dark Jedi. So who do we have represented on Real Talk with Keith Smith? Which brands?
I mean, Marvel, DC, Disney.
So Batman
Star
and
Wars.
Robin. Batman and Robin.
I'm not sure if Disney owns one or the other.
Okay,
of
Batman
those
and
as
Robin
well.
is which brand?
They're DC.
Okay, Batman and Robin is Captain America is?
Marvel.
Okay, Alfred would be DC?
DC.
Okay, and Dark Jedi would be Disney?
Yep, Disney.
So you had Marvel, DC, and Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what, that was a pretty fantastic show this morning. Excellent execution.
No doubt.
A lot we're going to cover. I'm going to ask you this question. What is the bigger scourge on the Charlottesville, Albemarle, and Central Virginia communities? The proliferation of vape shops that are springing up on every corner, or the proliferation of payday loans that are springing up on every corner and storefront? What is the bigger scourge to Charlottesville and Albemarle County? The payday loan business or the vape shop business? And it's a perfect segue because Fox's Cafe, now a vape shop. Conan Owen, Sir Speedy of Central Virginia, will give him some love. Locally owned and operated, Sir Speedy of Central Virginia. The talented business development virtuoso Conan Owen let us know that Fox's Cafe is now turning into a vape shop. Sir Speedy is who you contact for any logo application, window decals, stickers, direct mail. The banner behind me is a Sir Speedy special, signage, lanyards, uniform, merchandise. I remember, viewers and listeners, Fox's Cafe 20 years ago, and I'm going to offer a firsthand perspective of Fox's Cafe. Nicholas Erpy, welcome to the show. Neil Williamson, welcome to the show. Neil Williamson's buddy, Captain America, was fantastic today. I'll tell two stories, okay? First, a behind-the-scenes story of Real Talk with Keith Smith. As we were getting ready in the green room before the show, I was Robin was getting his hair right. Robin was adjusting his tights, his cape, and his mask. Batman was having to shift some epidermis around to fit into his tights that seemed to be a little bit more snug than this time last year. The Dark Jedi was making sure his lightsaber was in a safe position because that is a deadly weapon he had in his hand. Captain America walked into the green room today before Real Talk with his...
He was ready to go with a new shield.
With a new shield in hand, absolutely ready to go, Captain America, like he always is. And the boy wonder, Robin, who clearly of this group of 5 Cape Crusaders is the troublemaker of the bunch. And the boy wonder, Robin, tapped Captain America on the shoulder this morning while we were standing in the green room. And he said to Captain America, "Hey, Cap, let's go outside the studio and leave the green room because it looks like Batman is really struggling to fit in his tights and the show's not going to start on time. And let's go onto Market Street in front of the studio and let's hide behind this brick wall that we call the Macklin Building and let's wait till somebody comes by and let's jump out and scare them and go, pow, come, poo, junk." What are the words they do with Batman?
Zap,
Zap.
pow, sock.
So for some reason, Captain America is corrupted by the Boy Wonder. And he follows the Boy Wonder out. And Captain America is an imposing figure. And down comes Market Street, an unexpected young chap of maybe 25 or 30 years old, wearing a Carhartt jacket, Tech's neck as his phone is looking down, as he certainly is utilizing TikTok and Snapchat as young Gen Zers do. And as he gets in front of the I Love CVille Network studio, the boy wonder jumps out from behind the brick wall and screams, "Pow!" as Captain America is lurking behind the boy wonder. This young chap in the Carhartt jacket with the text neck, pretty much close to craps his pants, screams like a schoolgirl.
Brown pants day.
Screams like a schoolgirl, said, "Jesus, what is this?" Captain America, Boy Wonder turns over, looks over, and he bellows a deep chuckle of amusement. While the Boy Wonder, with a Cheshire grin, ear to ear, as if he was a kitty cat with a sleeve of Ritz crackers and a tin of Cheese Whiz at his disposal, just looks at him and smiles, a smile of mischievous enjoyment. That was how we started Real Talk with Keith Smith. And it's a perfect segue into Fox's Cafe. Fox's Cafe, ladies and gentlemen, I remember, I've lived in this community for 25 years. First arrived as a mischievous 18-year-old, first year at the University of Virginia, and now find myself a mischievous 40-something that has a hell of a lot more responsibility. Wife, 2 young children, a mortgage, private school tuition, bills, someone who's basically family, and Judah Wickower as well, and team members to be mindful of. And I remember Judah circa 2005. This is the year right out of UVA. Maybe this was 2006. No, this was 2005. This is the fall of 2005, okay? Because from spring of 2004 into spring of 2005, I lived at Oxford Hills. After UVA, I lived at Oxford Hills on Preston Avenue. Then Tall Tom, Mad Dog Mike, and Crafty Shannon, who climbed the rope ladder to sleep in the attic at 208 Little Graves. We decided to move our posse to Belmont because we wanted to be in stumbling distance of the bar district. And we have kind of outgrown the corner at the time, post-graduation. So we choose to move to 208 Little Graves. Arthur Feiner, Ben Feiner's father, Ben Feiner owns ProLink. Arthur Feiner was the landlord of 208 Little Graves. And 4 of us were living in basically a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. One of us converted basically a greenhouse room that was tied to the house into a bedroom, and Shannon literally climbed a rope ladder to an attic that had no heating or ventilation. So it got to be at 110 degrees in the summer and like 40 degrees in the winter. Yet he lived up there for about $150 a month because all 4 of us were broke jokes. Okay, but we wanted to live in Belmont because we could stumble from the downtown mall. And that's when the downtown mall was thriving. It had a bar district, it had nightlife. It was just at its peak and pinnacle, okay? Haven't seen it at its peak and pinnacle in a really long time. Certainly not how it was in 2006, 2007. And when we would wake up on a Saturday morning, hungover, most certainly from closing down Miller's, hungover, most certainly from closing down Zocalo or Rapture or Mas Tapas, we would wake up and we would all decide, what are we going to do? And on many mornings, we would walk from Little Graves, which was behind Spud Nuts, and Spud Nuts was active at the time, and we'd head to Fox's Cafe. And Fox's Cafe was the type of greasy spoon, it's right there on Belmont, that was a melting pot for all walks of life in Charlottesville. It was a melting pot for a ragtag posse or group like me and my roommates and friends, okay, that were literally there on an hour or 2 hours of sleep, either doing the walk of shame or having a gaggle of gals with us that were doing the walk of shame with us as well, in the same clothes that we most certainly were in the night before. Or Fox's Cafe would be the hospital type that was fresh off their shift, that was going to Fox's Cafe for the meal following a 12-hour workday. Or it was the blue-collar type, the plumbers, the electricians, the carpenters, the construction workers that were eating a meal prior to starting what was going to be a working, physically demanding, working-class type of day. You'd see bankers and judges and attorneys and financiers in Fox's Cafe because the food was good, it was priced right, it was served with a smile. And at the time, in 2005, 2006 at Fox's Cafe, you could go into this greasy spoon and you could get, 2 or 3 eggs cooked your way, grits or hash browns, toast, coffee, and a juice, and spend like $8 with tip. Wonderful time. Cash is the method of payment. I'm sure not all those cash, those payments were reported to the tax man, right? And I'm going with this story. 2005, 2006, Fox's Cafe in Belmont, you could smoke cigarettes inside. And I had a small phase of my life, a short window of my life, where I was a Camel Lights smoker. Okay, and at that time, a pack of Camel Lights was like less than $2, right? So we go to Fox's Cafe. You have a couple of cigarettes. You have some eggs scrambled with cheese, some hash browns, some grits, some juice, some coffee, and try to shake the hangover while you with the gaggle of the girls and your buddies are wearing the same clothes that you were in when you closed down Miller's. And the Fox's Cafe inside, which is not large and had terrible ventilation, was literally a cloud of smoke. It was so cloudy, the smoke, billowing in this cafe as the door opened and the gusts would bring the smoke wall to wall, swirl it as if you were in a tornado, eating in a greasy spoon in a tornado in Fox's Cafe. That there were times where you could literally go like this while eating your scrambled eggs like there and blow the smoke away from your face, because in this 1,000, 1,200 square foot restaurant, 50 people were smoking inside. A wild time if you think about what was life like, where you could be in a tiny closed-off room having breakfast, lunch, and dinner while basically sitting inside a chimney. And today, Fox's Cafe, and it's a great way to have a conversation and to segue into one of our topics.
It's evolving.
A Friday show. Has it evolved? Is this air quotes from Greasy Spoon, where you could eat scrambled eggs and drink coffee and wear the same clothes with the gaggle of girls from the night before and basically experience Charlottesville? Now it's evolved, air quotes, into a vape shop? I mean, another vape shop on another quarter. Is that the maturation of yours truly, that the vape shop I see is a scourge? Or do we look at the vape shop as, hey, Jerry, hey, Judah, at least it's not another empty storefront. They're contributing tax revenue to the local jurisdiction, and it leads Judah and I to ask this question.
Half full.
Yeah, is that how I look at it? What is the bigger scourge to Charlottesville, Albemarle, and Central Virginia? The vape shop proliferation or the payday loan proliferation? Because those businesses are bountiful in today's ecosystem that we call Charlottesville, Albemarle, and Central Virginia. I'm curious of your take on this. Viewers and listeners, I'm curious of your take. Put the lower third on screen. The bigger scourge, the vape shop or the payday loan business for Charlottesville and Albemarle. Viewers and listeners, what are your thoughts on that? Judah Wickower, you, my friend, lead the way. And I do have to highlight, your jacket is quite sharp over there.
Oh, thank you.
What is the bigger scourge in your opinion?
Well, I think I actually haven't seen that many of the payday loan places, or at least they just haven't impressed themselves on my senses lately. So I don't know how much they've spread, but the vape shops.
The payday loan was your contribution to the headline, and now you're marginalizing the headline by saying they're not that prolific.
I haven't seen this.
The vape shop was my contribution, but go ahead. Go ahead. Bigger scourge, the vape shop or the payday loan?
I think the vape shops, definitely. Considering
really?
Considering they pop up in single unit boxes that end up brightly lit and gaudy, and when you've got them on every corner, you kind of wonder at the necessity of them.
Viewers and listeners, your thoughts, bigger scourge, the vape shop or the payday loan? The payday loan business is significantly more predatory.
No doubt.
Significantly more predatory business model, the payday loan. In fact, viewers and listeners, can you think of a more predatory business in Charlottesville, Albemarle, and Central Virginia than the payday loan business? Can anyone offer a more predatory business model than payday loans? The only
I doubt
business
anyone
models
can.
I can think of that are more predatory are the guy that's slinging some meth or some crack rock on the corner, but that's not legal. The payday loan business is legitimately legal. Maybe the second cousin of the payday loan business was the proliferation of those illegal slot machine or those legal slot machines that were somehow gray area games of chance.
The one-armed bandits.
The one-armed bandits, the slot machines in the back of gas stations where you would see people posting up on stools just pumping money into these slot machines that were monikered games of chance, which allowed them to get around Virginia gambling laws. I mean, maybe that's the better lower third. What is a more what is the more damning business model to the Charlottesville, Albemarle, and Central Virginia marginalized communities? Because I'm going to cut to the chase. It's not the sophisticated or the wealthy or the educated that you're going to find patronizing the vape shops, the payday loans, or the one-armed bandits, the slot machines. It's the uneducated, the unsophisticated, and the financially marginalized, the socioeconomically marginalized that are proliferating these three scourgy business models. And why we're having this conversation is Fox's Cafe is a gateway to Belmont.
Yeah.
This is a gateway to pomp and premier and prime and prestigious Belmont, and it's $750,000 entry point to probably $2 million homes. I'd say you're probably looking at a window of Belmont, $750,000 to $2 million. And now their gateway, Judah, you jump in, is a vape shop.
Just across the street, the city was for a short while considering using that property for, I think,
A shelter.
yeah, a shelter.
It was a shelter.
And the Belmont community was firmly against it.
Belmontonians bashed
Came out
the shelter
firmly
concept.
against it, and now I don't think they have a choice. I don't think they can push.
Oh,
back
no.
and-
You absolutely can do vape shop there.
No. I'm saying I don't think Belmont can push back and prevent it from happening.
No, you're 100% right. 100% right. Neil Williamson, I knew you would go there with this. The president of the Free Enterprise Forum is watching the program. He is best friends with Captain America, Neil Williamson. And Neil Williamson, did you conversate with Captain America on the trouble Boy Wonder got you into with jumping out from behind a brick wall to scare the unexpecting Gen Zer with Cape Crusading costumes as he was walking down Market Street? I mean, damn near crapped his pants, that guy. Neil Williamson says, if you do not like a business, do not patronize them. The market, not soft sensibilities, should determine the market. He's 100% right.
There you go.
You're 100% right, Neil. The market will determine.
Yeah.
But as someone who needs to create content and fill an hour a day for a talk show, I have to come up with some concepts and some ideas and some fodder for commentary, which is exactly what we are doing right now. Bill McChesney watching the program. The vape shop combined with payday loans and a gambling machine den is the model for a mega crap convenience store. He's 100% right. And you sometimes see that. You sometimes see the payday loan merge with the vape shop, merge with the gambling machines. You saw that on Harris.
What better place to get everybody, all the people?
That was the place on Harris that actually had a murder outside during COVID. What was the place called? It's now since closed and been rebranded. What was it called, William McChesney? The one on Harris Street? James Watson, you know what I'm talking about. What was that place called? I would love to get your if you remember what that place was called. You know what I'm talking about, Judah?
I do. I can't think of the name though.
And you know what? Is that capitalism's version of Darwinism? Is the business model that is the payday loan, slot machine, vape shop, the capitalistic version of Darwinism?
Could very well be.
Because you patronize that business, you are going to lose. In some capacity or another, you are going to lose. And how do you feel if you're a Belmontonian and now the gateway to your pomp and premier and prime neighborhood is gatewayed by a vape shop? And what a sad homage, frankly, to Fox's Cafe, which at one time 20 years ago was woven into the fabric and identity of a working class neighborhood in Belmont, and really the flashpoint for the eclectic Charlottesville that no longer is so cornucopia in its status. Charlottesville, much more vanilla, much more white and wealthy than it once was 20 years ago, where it was a cornucopia of black, white, Puerto Rican, and Haitian, cornucopia of wealth, cornucopia of socioeconomic stratosphere. I mean, now vanilla. John Blair watching the program. Am I incorrect, or was there a rumor the other year that one of the Massanutten owners was going to redevelop the property into something much bigger than a vape shop? You are absolutely correct, John Blair, per usual. You are absolutely correct. I got something coming in via direct message, not from Deep Throat. He says this: I'm very much against both payday loans and vape shops. I will say I doubt most know or can comprehend how predatory the payday businesses are. The interest rate is usually between 300 and 395% APR. Creates circle of debt people don't understand. I've paid off and restructured personal loans for a couple of employees that had gotten caught up in the payday loans. My jaw hit the floor the first time I realized what they had signed up for, thinking my math must have been incorrect initially. 300 to 395% APR at the payday loans.
That should be illegal.
And the vape shop shouldn't be?
Uh,
And the skilled games shouldn't be?
Those are questions to ask.
How about
but,
the head shops that are on every corner in Charlottesville where you can, in dubious fashion, and I'm extremely pro-cannabis. Anybody who watches this program knows I'm pro-cannabis. But head shops on any corner of Charlottesville where you can pay a $10, $15 entry fee and walk upstairs or walk into a room, nondescript room, and have a farmer's market of indica and sativa, edibles, vape cartridges, stems, caps, you name it, it's there. Mm-hmm. How does that fly?
Those aren't the only places to get that stuff. There are people. I would bet dollars to cents that there are a lot more people using CBD THC products than we would actually think.
Neil Williamson says, before he left town, Captain America told me he regrets participating in the Boy Wonder's pants-filling shenanigans. I really love Captain America. He's genuinely one of my favorite people, Captain America.
He's a good man.
He's such a good person, Captain America. He really is. I think you found your scourge, your storefront scourge, and your storefront scourge.
We found the evil three.
Is
the
storefront scourge vape shop as in this order: payday loans, vape shops, skilled games, slot machines.
Yeah.
Followed very closely by Walmart and Target.
Lottery tickets aren't their own storefront, but
at least the lottery funds education.
Yeah.
The lottery is funding Virginia education. At least you can make that argument, can you not?
That's fair.
Okay.
But if we're talking about taking advantage of people,
what, the lottery?
Doesn't matter that what it funds.
At least there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Deep Throat's got comments coming in. He says, this is what neighborhood retail looks like. Not a cute country store, but rather an even worse version of a New York bodega. Only selling the addictive crap, not even bothering with the fig leaf of fencing, shoplifted CVS toiletries, or selling expired bread and milk. But try telling that to the bumpkin yimbies around here. Tell us how you feel over there, Deep Throat. That's why we appreciate you as well. And he's right. Why is the vape shop so prolific around town? Because the margins are ridiculous. Because the vape shop can be staffed with one person. because the vape shops sell a product that do not expire.
Yeah.
There is no waste because the vape shop is selling something that is so addictive, the buyer overlooks the damning impact what he or she is buying has on their body because of said addiction. They are so prolific because they are so profitable. That's why. And I bet if you kind of pulled the covers and looked under them, you would find it was the same handful of people that are driving the prolificacy, is that a word? The prolific nature of vape shop expansion, more accurately. Mm-hmm. It's the same handful of people. And as they buy, as they put more vape shop POSs, point of sales out there, they just have more purchasing power and are just fattening their margin. A restaurateur that I work with is consulting and gaining market share basis once told me that each unit that he opens, restaurant that he opens, he can go to the same 2 or 3 vendors that provide product, dry goods, food, ingredients, basically the items he needs to run his restaurant, and he's saving points by opening additional restaurants, points on purchasing, because the economies of scale, the vertically integrated nature of just adding points of sale to the infrastructure that he has in play. I want to highlight John Vermillion and Andrew Vermillion. The Vermillions are 5 generations strong in Albemarle County. I love John Vermillion. Love Andrew too. Andrew Vermillion is recently engaged. Congratulations to Andrew Vermillion. Recently engaged. I love John Vermillion. John Vermillion is a Southern gentleman. What you see is what you get. I appreciate a business that's 3 generations of family owned and backed by a family that's 5 generations in Albemarle County. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate a business that has navigated for 61 years a changing retail landscape. And I very much encourage viewers and listeners to support this company because Charlottesville Sanitary Supply, much like any local retail business, has a landscape that is rapidly changing. And it's rapidly changing here in Charlottesville. Can we move that so that doesn't happen every day? It's the bag that's under the table that's picked up under the mic right there that you knock with your foot. The business, and you know this, Judah, because you're in the conversations. We're basically the confessional for small business, our shop, the Miller organization. Yeah. The good, the bad, and the ugly, okay? The small retailer, the locally owned retailer, I would say has more headwinds today than maybe ever before. Give me a time, viewers and listeners, where the locally owned retailer has had more headwinds than they do right now with ubiquitous technology, with one-click ordering and delivery within hours on a doorstep, and retailers having the economies of scale of a global footprint.
An app on your phone.
Yeah. Give me a time, viewers and listeners, where the retailer has more headwind, local retailer, the locally owned and operated retailer has more headwinds than they do right now. If you want to see the Animal Connections of the world and the Happy Cooks of the world, the Charlottesville Sanitary Supplies of the world, if you want to see these businesses survive another 61 years, you must go out of your way to patronize and support them.
Yeah.
And out of your way is not even really that significant because Charlottesville Sanitary Supply has an e-commerce website and same-day delivery free in market. Yeah. It's just a matter of changing your shopping habits to think about them versus the one-click app that's in it. You talk about an addiction. Mm-hmm. How about the addiction that Prime and Amazon is peddling?
No doubt.
Amazon is peddling addiction. You pay us $200 a year for Prime. We'll give you all the content that you want on demand. We'll give you free shipping. We'll give you access to a library of inventory, a product that anything you could possibly want. I wouldn't be surprised if you could buy some Sirens of the Night on Amazon. What is that? What's next? Did you know Starbucks, one of Starbucks' fastest growing lines of revenue right now, you know what it is? Viewers and listeners, I found this startling. Are you ready for this? Starbucks, one of its fastest lines of growing lines of business stream, is coffee delivery.
Coffee delivery.
Coffee delivery, ladies and gentlemen, I read a story, is now a $1 billion business for Starbucks. This was 24 hours ago on CNBC. Starbucks coffee delivery business surpassed $1 billion with a B in sales in fiscal year 2025. The company said delivery sales climbed almost 30% in its fiscal fourth quarter. The typical Starbucks delivery order is nearly twice the size of an in-store transaction, according to the company. The coffee giant said this past Wednesday that its annual delivery sales crossed the milestone in fiscal year 2025, which ended on September 30th. Delivery sales climbed almost 30% compared with the year-ago period. It was crazy. Like at one time, we thought the coffee business was going to be small points of sale, strategically positioned for drive-through ordering and drive-through capacity. Is the now coffee business online ordering? Think about this from a Starbucks
Coffee
standpoint.
warehouses.
It's basically the Amazon of coffee.
Yeah.
If you don't need Class A coffee shops in densely populated and trafficked corridors, and you don't need staff in those coffee shops serving people in person or with vehicle drive-through, and instead you could have Class C positions that are much lower monthly overhead, and you deliver the coffee with, I mean, Jesus Christ, what are you using to deliver the coffee? Are you using robots to deliver the coffee?
Really?
Are you going to use robot? Is that what's going to happen? They're not even using.
How would that work?
Uber Eats and DoorDash and Grubhub. They're using Uber Eats. They're not even using their employees.
Yeah. How do you make money on that?
What do you mean?
I mean, besides the fact
cost to make a cup of coffee, it's one of the most high margin businesses that are out there.
That's fair, but
it's literally like Bogo's makes money. Bagel costs a nickel.
I'm saying, do you have a minimum for delivery?
Well, did you? This statistic is the one that most startled me. Not the $1 billion in sales, but the delivery order is twice the size of an in-store transaction. You know why that is?
Because you might as well get snacks while you're ordering your coffee.
No, because you're probably doing it for others that are around you. You're asking them and doing it for others that are around you. It's the convenience of being around people. Jason Noble, his photo on screen. Get your coffee at Grit, people, at Grit. Amen. Grit now in Hunter Craig's clock tower storefront on Water Street, where Waterbird Spirits once was. Mm-hmm. Fantastic location for Grit. William McChesney, so far what I've seen about vaping, it destroys your cardiovascular system very quickly and very destructively. 100%. It's gross. It's nasty. Vanessa Parkhill, funny the government did their best to squash big tobacco only to have it replaced with vaping. Is vaping healthier? Maybe. Not sure it's been around long enough to really know. I'm pretty sure the vaping is worse. Worse. Travis Hackworth, the addiction of the day is Temu, the ordering platform, where you get knockoff stuff for cheap. Wild times we live in, where how does the small business owner keep up? How does the small business owner keep up?
By being a part of the community. I don't think there's really any other way. You've got to engage, and just like Fox's was back in the day for you, it was a touch point of community, where you could see all of what made up that community, and places like that. I don't know. If you really want to survive, you need to be a part of the community.
I'm reminded, one of my favorite movies that's out there is The Founder with Michael Keaton. Have you seen that movie, Judah?
No, that's the one about Ray Kroc.
Yeah, it's so good. it's one of the few movies that I've purchased on a streaming platform. Michael Keaton plays Ray Kroc so well. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like a lot of people don't realize this, Ray Kroc, who they equate to the founder of McDonald's, he is a douchey fellow, a man of dubious, a man of, some would say, deplorable integrity, a man who did not have the innovation or creativity to build a business, necessarily himself. So he saw a business run by two brothers in California and basically stole it from them. And he stole it from them because he understood how to basically steal something in a paperwork, white-collar capacity through smoke and mirror franchise agreements and backroom deals. Some he didn't even, carry through on his end. And he got a piece of advice. Ray Kroc, his aha moment was when somebody that was in a bank, Ray Kroc was at a bank talking with a lender.
Yeah.
And this conversation with the lender, Ray Kroc was out of money. He was the guy that was in charge with scaling McDonald's across the country, but he, for all intents and purposes, was out of money because all Ray Kroc was doing was taking a small percentage of every cheeseburger sold. It was like less than a percentage point of every cheeseburger sold. It was like a point of I'd have to look at the movie, but it was a sliver of money. I don't want to get into the weeds. And this Harry Sonneborn is listening, eavesdropping. He's eavesdropping at the bank in the cubicle next to Ray Kroc's. Doesn't work for the bank. He's also a customer there. He follows Ray Kroc outside the bank and he stops him and he is able to convince Ray Kroc to let him look at Ray Kroc's books. And he basically says this to Ray Kroc. So let me understand what you have here at McDonald's, Ray. You have a terrible agreement. You have no revenue streams. You have no opportunity to grow the business. You own no assets. You don't really have a business. Ray Kroc's like, yeah, you're right. I keep opening these McDonald's and my company gets no money. Okay? And then this Harry Soderborn guy says, you don't realize what business you're in. You're not in the burger business, you're in the real estate business. And then he elaborates and he explains the story, the business model of McDonald's is not selling burgers and milkshakes and fries and nuggets. It's buying Class A pieces of real estate and finding franchisees that want to open locations in the markets that you own the real estate. And then ordering as part of the franchise agreement that they open that individual franchise on the location, the dirt that you own, and then they pay you rent in perpetuity. You get the royalty on sales, but you're really in the real estate business. I believe, if memory serves correctly, McDonald's is it the most significant commercial owner of commercial property in America? Is McDonald's the most significant commercial? That's a Deep Throat or Rob Neal question right there, maybe a John Blair question. I believe they are. And that aha moment shifted Ray Kroc into what is now the founder of McDonald's when really he didn't create it. He ripped off the concept.
Yeah.
And that concept, that aha moment, built one of the most iconic businesses the world has ever seen. And when we offer counsel to clients, I'm going to try to get a second meeting. We had a meeting this week. I'm going to try to get a second meeting and have this conversation. Being in a business where you're tied to needing to do tremendous volume.
Yeah.
And the margin of each unit you sell is small, but you have to do tremendous, your business model is to do tremendous volume to make money. That's tough.
No doubt. Yeah.
That's tough. Being in a business where it's not a volume play, but it's a margin play, where you can sell either a service or a product that has high margin so you don't have to do a ton of volume, that's doable. So if you're a small business owner and you're trying to differentiate yourself from a Walmart, a Target, or an Amazon, who are clearly looking to be the retailers of the world, you then have to say, all right, what's a concept I can go to where I may not be able to compete on the volume play, but I can compete on a margin play by providing value proposition of education and service tied to that high margin item that's probably expensive. That's a frame of thinking that's difficult for somebody like me who's in the consulting business to help, pass along to an operator. Some of these topics we may not get to today. It's goodness gracious. It's already 1:20. I do have to reference the Holiday Inn. Sean Tubbs has got good reporting on this. Mm-hmm. Do you guys realize that there's an out-of-market company called Brick Lane LLC that has a contract to buy the Emmett Street Holiday Inn? That, according to a July 24, 2025 request for zoning determination. Sean Tubbs, great reporting on this. This Brick Lane LLC wants to take the Holiday Inn on Route 29 and convert it to 191 apartment units. And it wants to do, and it's planning on doing this without really changing anything of the outside except for adding a small pool.
Yeah.
It's bananas. They're basically going to be doing interior work. Mm-hmm. They're going to take a middle-of-the-road hotel and try to convert it into 191 apartments. This out-of-market company, if you do just a basic Google search, is Brick Lane LLC. I believe I have it in front of me. BrickLaneDC.com is their website. In DL, under the radar fashion, another out-of-market real estate firm has come in to Charlottesville and Albemarle and scooped up a prime position of real estate to lipstick and pig a middling, if not sub-middling, mediocre, if not sub-mediocre piece of real estate to try to luxuryfy multifamily.
The Palms.
And call it the Palms. This is Cavalier Crossing rebranded to Tate on Fifth. The Holiday Inn rebranding to the Palms. You want to touch on this at all, Judah?
I mean,
this is a 4-acre property on Route 29.
It's probably a great deal.
They're going to crush it with this.
Yeah, no doubt.
This is a phenomenal location for something like this.
No new structures.
This is where the multifamily should go.
No entrance changes. No land disturbance. A small pool and a deck.
They're going to do a small pool and a deck on the outside of a sub-mediocre Holiday Inn. And then have 191 apartments that they're going to rent for $2,000 and up a month. 191, let's use an average of 2,500. 2,500 times 191. That's $477,500. I'll do that again. Top line revenue. Rent roll. 191 times 2,500 times 12. You're talking $5,730,000 in rent roll. That's obviously not net. That's top line. $5,730,000. $5,730,000. And they're going to do no outside work. That's literally how they're positioning it.
Yeah.
To fast track approval.
Mm-hmm.
Deep Throat. I was intrigued by the Holiday Inn news. Tells you that the hotel business maybe isn't so great here. Also, again, gives the lie to the idea there's no capacity to build housing. Conversions are a big opportunity. Of course, from a city budget perspective, it is a loser. You get residents who consume services and you lose all that sweet lodging tax. But in the end, I do sort of wonder what absorption will look like for a product like this. Is that a location where you would want to live if you can spend $2,000 plus a month? What's the sales pitch? You have 3 places to buy crap fast food places. Stuff throw it. This is the tagline for the Palms, the new Holiday Inn apartment complex. Rent from us, $2,500 a month, and you're in walking distance of the cock block. Rent from us, The amenity is a crappy small pool and a deck and that bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken right next door. Rent from us at the Palms, and you will have your choice of 5 fried chicken points of sale within walking distance of your $2,500 a month apartment conversion where the sirens of the night do their business previously.
Sirens of the night.
It's a PG-13 show. I get chastised from my wife if I don't say in the PG-13 category. All right, it's 1:23. I have a 1:45 meeting. That's all she wrote on a Friday. We got to save some of these headlines for tomorrow, or tomorrow's Saturday. Today's your favorite day of the week. It's a payday Friday. Payday Friday. All right, all she wrote. I want you to patronize locally owned and operated businesses. Another great one is Oak Valley Custom Hardscapes. If you need a hardscape done at your house, there's one company you call. It's Oak Valley Custom Hardscape. Their design centers on the downtown mall in the Wells Fargo building, and it is fantastic. Tim Hess, the local point of contact. I've seen them firsthand do fantastic work with hardscapes. Oak Valley Custom Hardscapes. I'll close with this. It's Halloween tonight. When you're driving those 2 and 3 ton trucks and cars, be careful with the tykes, the little kids that are around.
Yeah.
Be very careful tonight, please. Now, I offer words of caution as a father of a 3-year-old who's going to be Spider-Man tonight, and our 7-year-old's going to be Harry Potter. Happy Halloween. I'm grateful for Judah, and I'm grateful for you, the viewer and listener. So long.
Happy Halloween.